What is the question? What is the equivalent value of a plus b plus c in hexadecimal number? The base is 16 we have written here. That's why it is actually the hexadecimal number. So we have to find out the value of equivalent of this a plus b plus c hexadecimal number. This question was in 19 column board. So let's find out the solution. So sum of a plus b plus c, sum of a plus b plus c, this is actually in hexadecimal. So what is the decimal value of a? This is decimal value 10. 10 mean a, b mean 11, and 12 mean c, right? So 10 plus 11 plus 12, all together the value will be 33 in decimal. So this is the equivalent value of a plus b plus c in hexadecimal, and the decimal value will be 33. But if it is in hexadecimal, so what will be the answer? Let's convert from decimal to hexa of 33. What do we have to do? This 33 need to be divided by 16. So it will be 2. So the remainder will be 1. Again, we have to divide by 16. So it will be 0. Indeed, the remainder will be 2. So this is MSB to LSB. So the value will be 21. Not 21 actually. This will be 2 and 1. This is the value of hexadecimal, the equivalent value of a plus b plus c. There is another question. What is the equivalent binary value of the signal? This signal have got 8 bits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Low means 0, high means 1, low means 0 and 0. Here actually 2 bits, again 1, 1 and 0. So the value will be 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1 and 0. This is the binary value, right? If it is asked for octal and the hexadecimal, please make a comment on the comment section. This is your home task, of course. Please comment. What is the numerical value of the signal? This question was in Dhaka board 2020. Here actually 7 bits we observed. So high means 1, low means 0, 0, 0, 1, 1 and 0. So the binary form will be from the signal, that is 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1 and 0. So numerical value is actually defined the decimal. So from the binary value, if we go for, let's use the red one. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 4, this is 8, this is 16, and this 0 define 32, and of course this will be 64. So the value for 64 is 1, so we have to accept this one and this one. So all these three, which actually the high value, will be sum up. So 64, 4 and the 2. So this will be 70, right? So this is the numerical value of the signal. This is actually in 10 value. So the numerical value could be in hexadecimal. Indeed, the hexadecimal will be 4 bits. Indeed, these 4 bits and these 3, and of course we could use here 0, which is actually not significant. So we can add actually this 0, which is not changing the value or magnitude. Indeed, this is 6 and this is 4. So 4, 6 is the hexadecimal value. And the octal value will be 3 bit. Let's change a different color here. So for 3 bits, so this 3, afterward this 3, and afterward this 3. Here we actually add another 0. So 110 represents 6, and this is 0, and this is 001 means 1. Indeed, we could write down 106. This is actually the octal numerical value. So decimal is 70, hexadecimal will be 46, and the octal value is 106. What is the equivalent hexadecimal value for 1110.11? So this number is in binary, the base represents, and the point have got actually 3 positional value. This is fraction and the radius point, and 1110 is the integer number. So we have to convert in hexadecimal. It means if we rewrite the number 1110 and then 11, and if we put here 20, it actually not significance, it's same actually, not changing the value or not changes the value, whatever. So this value and this value, it means 4 bits represents the hexadecimal value. So hexadecimal 100 1001 1010 1010 1100 1101 1110 and 111. So this is 8, 9, and this is 10 means A in hexadecimal, B, C, D, E, and F. So 1100 means C. So this will be C and the point, and then 1110 1110 is E. So the final value of this binary is E point C 16. So the question talk about 2019, what type of number is this one? So there are actually BAD.HC. So this is hexadecimal, there is no doubt, hexadecimal. So the base is 16. So the second part of the question, match the positional value of this number. Indeed, the positional number represents what is actually the weighted or positional value of this number in decimal. Let's recheck the value of A, B, C, D, E, F. So 10 represents A in decimal, 11 represents B, 12 represents C, 13 represents D, 14 represents E, and last but not the least, the 15 represents F, right? And this number have actually two portions, fraction HC, then radix, and the integer number. So 2 times 16 plus B represents 11, 11 times 16 plus A represents 10 times 16 plus D represents 13 times 16. So for the integer number, D is actually LSB, so this will be 0, afterward 1, this is 2, and this is 3, the weighted value for the positional value. And afterward the radix point, let's write down here, and 8 times 16 plus, let's delete this value, we don't need right now, so let's delete the value here. So C represents 12, right? 12 times 16. So this is MSB, so -1. Now this is -2. Now plug in the value into calculator. Afterward we'll get 8192 plus 2816 plus 160 plus it will be 160, and this is 13 plus this one will get 0.5 plus for this value will get 0.04688. all together we'll get 11,181.5468. So this is the positional value which match the number given. So this is the this will be decimal value. So the value of this one, the positional number in decimal, will be this value. What is the following of 17? So 17.8, it's actually an octal number, and the question, what is the number of following this one? It's actually explain the next number of this octal number. It means after 17 the next number is what? So let's convert this octal into decimal. So 1 times 8, 7 times 8, so 0 and 1, the LSB 0 and afterward 1. So this is 8 plus 7. So this is actually the 15 number, or 15 for decimal. So next number or the following number in decimal, of course 15 plus 1 will be 16, right? So if we have got the 16 number converted into octal, that is actually the question mark. So 16, let's convert into octal. So divide by 8. 2 times 8 is 16, so remainder will be 0. Again 8 divide by 8 will be 0, so the remainder will be 2. So the answer will be 2, 0. This is octal. So the next following number of 17 will be 20 in octal. So the question talk about 2019, what type of number is this one? So there are actually BAD.HC. So this is hexadecimal, there is no doubt. Hexadecimal. So the base is 16. So the second part of the question match the positional value of this number. Indeed, the positional number represents what is actually the weighted or positional value of this number in decimal. Let's recheck the value of A, B, C, D, E, F. So 10 represents A in decimal, 11 represents B, 12 represents C, 13 represents D, 14 represents E, and last but not the least, the 15 represents F, right? And this number have actually two portions, fraction HC, then radix, and the integer number. So 2 times 16 plus B represents 11, 11 times 16 plus A represents 10 times 16 plus D represents 13 times 16. So for the integer number, D is actually LSB. So this will be 0, afterward 1, this is 2, and this is 3. The weighted value for the positional value. And afterward, the radix point, let's write down here, and 8 times 16 plus, let's delete this value, we don't need right now, so let's delete the value here. So C represents 12, right? 12 times 16. So this is MSB, so minus 1. Now this is minus 2. Now plug in the value into calculator. Afterward we'll get 8192 plus 2816 plus 160 plus it will be 160, and this is 13 plus this one will get 0.5 plus for this value will get 0.04688. all together we'll get 11,181.5468. So this is the positional value which match the number given. So this is the, this will be decimal value. So the value of this one, the positional number in decimal, will be this value. The question describes the difference between two numbers. One is 1F, is in hexadecimal. Another one is 58 in decimal number. What will be the second number? So second number, let's consider the second number is n, right? So the first number is 58 in decimal. So the very first number is in 58. The second number is n, is equals to, the difference will be 1F, the result, right, in hexadecimal. So the second number will be n is equals to 58 minus 1F, right? So this is in decimal number, this is in hexadecimal number. So let's convert this value in decimal. So 1F, 1 times 16 plus F represents 15 times 16. So this is 0 and 1. So the value will be 31. So it should be minus 31, and this is as usual 58. So the result will be 27, right? But this is in decimal number. Might be asked in MCQ, in hexadecimal. Indeed, we have to convert this value in hexadecimal 27, right? So 27 we have to convert into hexadecimal. Indeed, 27 convert into hexadecimal, so divide by 16. So this will be 1 and the remainder will be 11, because 27 and 16, 27 minus 16 is 11, so remainder will be 11. Again, we have to divide by 16, so this will be 0 and the remainder will be 1. And of course, the value of 11 remainder, it represents B. So the final result, I mean the second number in hexadecimal, will be 1B. So this is the answer actually. But if the question asked that the second number is n, which is larger than the 58, so n is larger, so of course the equation should be n minus 58 and the result is 1f, right? So n is equals to 1f is 31 and this will be 58, so the result will be 89 in decimal, of course. Now we have to convert this value into hexadecimal. Indeed, 89 decimal to hexadecimal, 89 divided by 16, 5 times 16 is 80, so this will be 5 and the remainder will be 9, of course. Again, divide by 16, it will be 0 and this is 5. So the final result for this condition, when the second number n is larger, indeed the final value will be 5 and 9 in hexadecimal. What is the next number in the sequence 5D15? So this number sequence is in hexadecimal, right? So the very first of the sequence is 5, afterward D, afterward definitely not 15, this will be 15. Now time to verify the value in hexadecimal and the decimal. So let's make a table. Here is hexa and decimal. So hexa 5, then D, then 15, and the next number we have to determine, right? So 5 hexa represents decimal 5, D represents 13, so 5 plus 8 is 13, 13 plus 8 is 21. So the value of 15 in hexadecimal, the decimal will be 21. 21 plus 8 is 29. The next value of 21 is 29 in decimal. Now we have to determine the 29 decimal value of the hexadecimal. This is our main target, to determine the hexadecimal of 29, and this is actually the fourth sequence number of this hexadecimal sequence. What you have to do? Convert this decimal number into hexadecimal. So 29 need to be divided by 16, so this will be 1. So 29 minus 16 is 30, and we know that 10 means A, 11 means B, 12 means C, and 13 means D, right? So this 13 hexadecimal value will be D. Again, we have to divide by 16, so this will be 0 and the remainder will be 1. So this is this one is MSB, so it need to be from MSB to LSB. So the value of 29 in decimal and its hexadecimal will be 1D. So the next number of 15 will be here 1, and this is the answer. What is the sum of two numbers? One is in binary, another one is in hexadecimal. So the sum will be in 3 format. Let's start for the binary. For binary value, we have to convert this value into binary. So A represents 1 0 1 0 and 1 represents 1 and 0 0 and 0, and first number is 1 0 0. So let's write down 1 0 0. Now if we add up this two number, it will be 0 1 1 1 1. So this is the binary number, right? So this is the binary sum of these two numbers. Now for hexadecimal, what was the result of this sum? It was actually this 30. Now write down, and then 1 1 1 4 1 actually, and then 0. So here are actually 8 bits, right? For hexadecimal, obviously 4 bits each for the hexadecimal number. So 1 1 1 0 represents actually E, and 0 0 0 1 represents 1. So this is actually the hexadecimal number. I mean the sum of these two numbers in hexadecimal is 1E. Now time for decimal number. Now decimal number. So convert from hexadecimal to decimal. So 1, this one actually, 1 times 16 plus E represents 14 and the base is 16. As we convert it into the decimal number, so the LSB value will be 0 and this is 1. So all together this is actually 30 in decimal value. Now time to convert into octal. So the sum for this two number, let's again write down the binary value, whatever we have from the to sum up from here to here. So 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0. As we are converting to octal, so we have to take 3 digits, 3 bits, pardon. So here as well 3 bit. Let's write down 1 0 at left. So it actually not give any significance. Now 1 1 0 represents 6, 0 1 1 represents 3, and this is 0, doesn't matter. So the octal value is 36. So the binary value is 1 1 1 1 0, the hexadecimal 1E, and the decimal is 30, and the octal is 36. If x is equals to 14, what is the next value of x5? So the value here is in 5 base value and x value is 14, so 14 5. So this is 5 base value. What is the next value of 14? This is the question, right? Let's convert this value into decimal. Indeed, 1 times 5 plus 4 times 5, this is 0 and this is 1, so the value will be 9 in decimal. So we have to find out the value of next. So next value of 9 will be added with 1, so this will be 10, right? So we have to convert this value into 5 base value. into convert into 5 base value. So 10 divided by 5, this will be 2, so remainder will be 0. Again we have to divide by 5, it will be 0 and the remainder will be 2. So the next number of 5 base value of 14 will be 2, 0. This will be 5 base value. So 14, then the next following number is 20.